Hello and welcome to another fun-filled episode of Movie Match Reviews on YouTube. Today's review is another installment of Versus. This time, it's the 2004 version of Around the World in 80 Days taking on the 1956 version of Around the World in 80 Days. Now, again, as I said before, Around the World in 80 Days was a novel by Jules Verne that was published in the 1870s about an English gentleman who makes a bet that using the available modes of transportation at the time period, he can circumnavigate the globe in exactly 80 days, no more, no less. But while that's going on, there has been a robbery of the prestigious Bank of England, and some have interpreted this as the gentleman being the bank robber, because why else would he take off and circumnavigate the globe a couple of days after the robbery? So with his manservant, they come across over the course of the 80 days, him and his manservant come across a colorful array of characters and try and outwit a police inspector again because of the robbery. So there has been a lot of adaptations of Around the World in 80 Days, and games and books and TV miniseries, and obviously the two movies. The 1956 version is, of course, considered a classic, and is actually one of the few adaptations that plays the book straight. The Disney version, it plays the book straight, but some of it is, I think, was added in to compress the adaptation. They needed to tell 120 minutes long in the live action version. The previous version was 183 minutes worth in length. But again, like I said, the 56 version is actually more in line with the book, with little to no filler. There are some scenes that do supplement the book, and what both these movies have in common is there's cameos of popular stars of a time period. The 2004 version is also more notable for featuring Arnold Schwarzenegger in his last role before he became governor of California. But the Disney version has it where, like I said in my prior review, there were a lot of situations that kind of really felt contrived. Like, the girl who becomes the love interest somehow knows that the manservant has an agenda of his own, and naturally when Fogg finds out about it, of course he's going to feel her betrayed and then split off to complete the bet. In the 56 version, which is again more in line with the book, nothing of that sort happens. The love interest is the Indian princess, like it was in the book, and she comes in at the halfway point, point of the 56 film. The 2004 film also has a barrage of gadgets, gadgets and tinkering and all that. There's even an actual villain. Whereas in the book and 56 film, the closest thing to the villain is arguably the inspector, who is ultimately more misunderstood and misguided. Yeah. And there's elements of that in the Disney film too, but so anyway, as you can kind of tell, in terms of the overall story, I'd have to say the 56 film actually does the story really justice, despite the fact that there was a little bit of filler regarding Passepartout, but again, in this version, he was played by Mexican superstar Cantinflas, and so naturally they added some scenes to the point when this was roadshow in Mexico, he was top billed. The 2004 version was ultimately its own thing and shouldn't be judged, but I am judging it, so I would have to say that the 56 film is the more superior adaptation. They tried, and I can see why they made some of the changes they did, but ultimately the 56 film had a team that knew of the book and was aware that they could use the nearly 3-hour length to ultimately tell the whole book without cutting. Yeah. Because there was a lot of stuff in the Disney version that was cut from the book. Or Disney could have just read the book and then tossed it in the trash and told its writer's room, just do your own thing. It happened with Jungle Book. So yeah, the 56 film wins the battle. So that was versus 56 Around the World in 80 Days versus 2004 Around the World in 80 Days. You can check the channel for my previous stuff. And the next review will be A Star is Born, if I hadn't already done that. So this is Matt signing off.